One of the last true freedoms that we have in this world is the RV lifestyle. And I truly believe that everyone in the world should be able to experience this lifestyle at least once. Welcome to HB RV Lifestyle, the podcast. And on this podcast, I've always tried to give you the great, the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to the RV lifestyle. And sometimes we get dragged into a lot of the negativity, especially when there's compounded things, when manufacturers start making claims that are half-assed true, when you start to get a lot of Armageddon level problems that compound on each other, when you have YouTubers that are covering the majority of the negatives, and then you have YouTubers that cover that everything's perfect and sunshine and rainbows. A lot of times we forget why the lifestyle exists, why we get travel trailers and toy haulers and tent campers and motorhomes, why folks build out a van, build out a school bus, why they take old Airstreams and refurbish them. This isn't exactly because of money necessarily, because there are people out there that are very poor and still can enjoy the RV lifestyle. There are people out there that are super rich that refuse to live the RV lifestyle. So there's a lot of spectrums, a lot of personalities. But the main focus of what the RV lifestyle is freedom. It is your own personal hotel on wheels. You can go anywhere you want. If you got a motorhome, you can start it up and decide to go on a 2 or 3 day vacation to any destination you want to go to. You want to go out in the middle of the desert, the forest, you want to go fishing at your favorite lake, a new lake, or simply, you know what? You want to pull up to a family member's house and don't want to bug them. When I got first introduced into this industry, when I first was in sales, when I first was a show dog, I guess you would call me back then, one of the things that I was always overhearing is bed bugs. Somebody else has slept in the bed in the hotel. You know, the food is terrible. The service is terrible. Hotels, at least a lot of them, have gotten better over the years. I've stayed in some hotels when I was traveling with Coachman RV. But there's nothing like being able to go into nature without worrying about who else has been in the hotel room, what they've done in the hotel room, or the cabin, or the Airbnb. And a lot of folks are afraid to be in the industry because there's a lot of work to it as well. There is work in the RV lifestyle. Now, it's not the type of work you have at your house or at your job, but there's setting up, there's breaking down, there's only so many floor plans. I always tell people at every size level, there's basically 3 floor plans. And every manufacturer might put a cabinet somewhere different, or the refrigerator's in a different place, or maybe they put a pretty bow on something, or maybe they decided to come up with a automotive seal that is going to be revolutionary to the industry, or maybe they came out with a frame that's revolutionary to the industry, or maybe they decided to go to this newfangled roof or newfangled suspension. All those are the marketing systems and the propaganda to tell you about the product, but never tell you about the lifestyle. Brand ambassadors and different YouTubers and influencers across the world make a living off this. I make a living off this. I don't make a very good living, but you know, it's extra money in my pocket to come and talk to folks and give them basically my knowledge. But nobody talks about what it's like to actually park your travel trailer in the middle of a beautiful campground area where there's no hookups, very little people, a creek running in the background, people with fishing poles looking for trout or bass. Maybe it's on the ocean. Maybe it's on the beach and you get to watch the sun rise and the sun set over the ocean. Or maybe it's simply as simple as a resort where they have massages and pools and spas. Maybe it's that ability to go to Vegas without having to worry about being in some hotel room that somebody trashed, if you get my drift. You don't have to worry about your kids finding needles or glass or things of that nature when you're out in certain parts of the world. The RV lifestyle provides clarity. It provides a way out of the rat race, gets you away from the politics, gets you away from all the bickering, and you start to find out that people have more in common with each other than what the news outlets, than what the politicians want to make it out to be. I'll give you a great example. About 5 months ago, during the heated part of when Donald Trump got elected, I was out in the middle of a campground. Probably half the campground had Harris flags still going. They haven't, obviously things weren't quite wrapped up in November yet. And half the people were MAGA. Not one person was fighting about politics. Not one. The conversations around the campfire were about family, hobbies, things they've seen, places they've been. Politics were set aside. Being divided politically really had nothing to do with why people were there. And they were all mixing together, having an absolute blast. And most of those folks will join Facebook groups. Most of those folks will be texting each other about when the next trip is. They don't talk about it at work. They don't talk about it with their neighbor too much. But they'll talk about things with the friends they make on the road. Why? Because the RV lifestyle brings people together. When you're a rookie and you have no idea what you're doing and something's going wrong, the neighbor in the next park or the next site would be more than happy to help you. It's going back to like the nuclear family days. Not necessarily, I'm not talking about the bigotry or the machismo or any of that. I'm talking about the days when somebody would break down or somebody would have a problem and someone else would come over and help. Not drive by flipping somebody off because they're blocking traffic on the freeway. These are the things we have to realize that the lifestyle comes from. It brings families closer together. A lot of times it brings marriages together and relationships better together. Now, is that true of everyone? Absolutely not. It's not 100% foolproof. But a lot of times it's easier to get along with your spouse and get along with your kids and create family memories when you're around nature, when you're around people that are like-minded, that have the same mentality you do about the passions of going out for adventure. No matter what your politics are, no matter what your sexual orientation is, no matter what your gender is considered, none of that shit matters when you're out camping. None of that stuff matters when you're on the road, stopping by, taking photos, seeing the things that you always wanted to see. Now, it doesn't mean you have to own one. A lot of folks rent them. They take one trip a year and they rent a little motorhome, rent a little travel trailer, and head across the country. And just enjoy every moment that they possibly can with their family, building those memories up. So that way when they get back and they have to go through all the hell that comes along with everyday life, they can fall back on the fact that they got another trip coming and they're going to build memories together. The final thought of this is, if we as an industry go back to understanding that, then all the BS will go away. And what I'm talking about BS is everybody's going to be critical about things when they go wrong, no matter what. I've been very critical about Brinkley RV, Grand Design RV, sometimes Forest River, sometimes Keystone. I'm critical of everybody when they do something stupid or say something dumb. That's just a reality. Nothing's ever going to stop that, and I'm never going to stop that. But the reality is even if, let's just use the most current event, even if the Brinkley RVs, even if 5% start leaking, I'm going to talk about the 5%, but that doesn't mean the other 95% of people who buy a Brinkley are not enjoying it. are not loving it, are not enjoying what that Brinkley RV actually means to them and their family. And that goes with any brand, whether you buy an Airstream, a Coleman, a Springdale, a Flagstaff, a Rockwood, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you and your family are building memories that will last forever. Now, if you want to know more information about how loans are made, let's say, for example, for RVs, let's say you're interested in financing an RV and you just want the basics of it, there's a video right there that will help you out with that. So until next time, remember, RV always stands for toolkit and sense of humor. Take it easy.